Hey YouTube, Bill in the Hills. Um, I was down here today just kind of messing around, and again, I'm just trying to build my packs, working on some of my snares and stuff, and I happen to think that maybe we can come up with a different system than, I mean, just about everybody has a hook in their pack. Now this spring could probably be duplicated easily with a spring out of a lighter. I mean, that's not that strong of a spring. There's just some stuff I had sitting right here in the basement, and this here's just a wire out of a bait casting a lure. And Sledgy, okay. I've got a little stainless here. Trying to get away from the fishing line maybe, and of course nothing wrong. I still got fishing line in my pack. This is just a little snare. I'm gonna call it a fishing snare. I guess you could snare whatever you wanted with it. I'm gonna try to get a little bit closer here. Maybe you can see I've just got the hook attached just to the end of the spring right there, and I've got this pin here going all the way through and attached to this end of the spring. So, and I'm trying to work with a new camera here. It's one of those GoPros, and you really got to get close to it. That's why I'm not trying to get in the picture. You can pull this hook up here after it's baited. Well, let's see here. First, the reason why these are on here, I've done been messing with it, and stainless you can work with quite a bit. It don't really get too weak, but just don't twist it too tight. Now I'm just going to do a loop back here just to show you. Now normally you would attach that over a stick or a branch hanging out over the water, something, just a way to get it out there. And I almost think that maybe just right above the water will keep all the minnows off of it, and maybe be better waiting on the big fish. So now I'll put this nail here just to simulate it kind of hanging on a branch. So it's pretty easy to set. There is a safety zone, and it's back here, just anywhere below half of this rod when you're setting it. But once it's baited, now I've worked on this tip on this rod quite a bit. This rod that goes through here, what I've done is the tip of it's not actually the size that it is right here. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know how good this camera is, but I've actually got the tip kind of ground down, a little more pointed. I took a file and put a notch in it, and then I kind of filed the notch away, so it just left just a little bit of a groove for that hook to set in. And I hope that camera's picking that up. And of course it's attached to the spring, and normally this would be attached to your rod. Now I do carry a fishing line, and it'd be nice, I thought that there'd be a rock available to step out on and do some fishing or something like that if you were in trouble, or if you needed to catch some fish, or if you were just trying to catch fish. Most of the time out there, the banks are going to be just covered in brush. So this method here, where you could probably just attach it to just a stick and poke it right through the brush, and either drop it in the water or just leave it dangling above the water, and that keeps all the minnows off. Now the way this thing works, of course I don't have a fish here to bite it, but you can see that that's just a small trigger release right there. Now I'm not going to be in any harm back here by holding this spring, but I'm going to go ahead and release that guy with just a little bit of pressure there, and you can see how that grabs. And it would actually even kind of run this barb here into whatever you were trapping, fish or whatever. Okay, one thing I found out messing with this thing half a day and getting hooks stuck in my hands is after a time or two when you set it, you do got to put another flat edge back on here because it knocks the burr off. And I said if you just kind of hold it back past the safety zone here, what I'm calling the safety zone, that's where the hook can't get this left hand here, that hook will set right in there nicely. Now after a few times you might have to file and put another flat edge on there. And again, I'm going to show another shot here of it triggering, and just that easy with just a very small amount of pressure. And see how I'm behind the safety zone, so setting it's not going to be too difficult if you have a multi-tool. See, that goes right back on there nice. But like I said, after just a few times, when you notice you're really having a lot of trouble getting the hook on there, it's time to put another flat edge back on there. So again, this can either hang like that right above the water or in the water. You can tie it around a stick. You can poke it through the brush easily and reach out and not have to worry about casting a line. And it seems to work pretty good. So I don't know if this camera's getting a good close-up on that or not, but I just have the hook right around the end of the spring, the trigger stick going through the spring, and back here on the back I have the other end of the spring attached to the trigger stick. So in this stainless wire here will tie it off, or you can tie it to twine or whatever you have. I just think this will work pretty good. And then we'll show you one more thing, but one more try. I'm gonna get behind the safety trick, and that's how easy it grabs. So when that grabs, it also sends this barb up into whatever you just grabbed, so it's probably not going to get loose. Now this thing packs away pretty small, probably smaller than what some of you have your fishing line in. There you go. Just another small way, another trick. I don't know if I'll carry that in my pack, but it's just some ideas I'm putting out there. I probably will. It's pretty cool, and if I get enough responses on it, I may even try it out, take it somewhere and try it out. Thanks, YouTube.